Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you. Appreciate you tuning on in on a Line Maintenance Tuesday. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. If you do, remember we post the show, all 3 hours of it, in fact, upon the conclusion. Goes up on the website here and on iTunes. If you go to iTunes, rate, review, share, all that good stuff. Helps others find the program. You can email us, jcs at 979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at jcameronshow. Use the WTSM app for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers and Periscopers. Hope you're doing well. So I guess the interesting question this week now becomes, first of all, we still don't know whether or not James Blackman is going to be able to play in this football game. He was surprisingly more mobile today than they would have expected. Even made a point at one point to jog past some of the reporters to James Blackman. So all of a sudden, it's not a guarantee that he will not play. That's good. That's good. You need that depth. And frankly, I think you're going to need both quarterbacks moving forward for the rest of the year because they kind of provide different things. James has the big arm, can really stretch the field in a way that Alex Hornibrook can't. Right now, Alex Hornibrook seems to have a calm in his demeanor and an ability to pre-snap read that's a little bit more advanced than James. That would stand to reason, at least the calm demeanor, because he started so many more football games than James Blackman has in his career. I think you can utilize their skill sets, both of them, that is, moving forward. So you want both available at all times. I know the talking point right now for many Florida State fans is what happens Saturday night if Alex Hornibrook goes out and lights it up? What if he does to NC State's defense, as West Virginia did and many others have the last 2 years? That was an atrocious defense a year ago that James Blackman lit up as well. What if Hornibrook goes out and does that and Florida State wins comfortably and all of a sudden the sample size is now basically a game and a half of Alex Hornibrook and it's all good? Do you start him the following week after the bye against Clemson? I don't know the answer to that question. The coaching staff will have to break down that film and decide. But I do think there's potential that could happen. Again, I don't know that dynamic in the locker room. I do know that one of the things that we talked about yesterday and that we talk about a little bit later today on Seminole Headlines and that we'll talk about right here, right now, is that I thought it was a good sign that James and Alex clearly like one another, clearly root for one another, clearly are in each other's corner. I also thought it was a really good sign that the players quite clearly also like Alex Hornibrook. It's one thing to say that, they love James Blackman, and they do. Two things can be true simultaneously, that you love that guy and you love this guy too. Love might be a strong word. Alex hasn't been here this whole time, but he certainly ingratiated himself nicely upon arriving at Florida State, working hard in the locker room and on the field, staying after, learning the offense so that when he got his chance, he was able to let it ride and make a good impression. And I noted that the linemen and the wide receivers and the running backs and the tight ends, they were all happy for Alex as well, and they showed that appreciation. So you have a good situation. You don't have to necessarily make it into a controversial situation. You've got two quarterbacks the players like, two quarterbacks that can provide different aspects of the game to help you out and win football games. But I know how it works, and I know how social media is, and I know that recency bias is a very real thing. And so if he goes out and lights it up, there's a real good chance that people are going to be talking primarily about the quote-unquote controversy we have on our hands at quarterback.
I'd love to be able to talk about that. It means we're 3-2. Mm-hmm. So here's hoping it happens. But I'm not one in the camp that would ordain Alex Hornibrook as the answer just yet. The returns are early. But the results are good. He didn't play perfect.
No.
The one drive when we're up 24-21, the first drive, he makes 3 iffy decisions. One is he doesn't hand the ball to Cam. The second one, he leaves the pocket for no reason. He sees ghosts. Yeah. And the third one, he's got Trey McKitty to the left. And I think people are heaping some things on Alex, like he sees the entire field so well. Now, if you saw the entire field, you got to throw to McKitty that maybe picks you up a first down there. I'm only poking holes in his game to say he's not perfect. I'm not poking holes in his game to say that he wasn't instrumental in the win on Saturday. I'm not trying to say that.
Right, 15 of 20, no picks, 2 touchdowns, over 200 yards passing. You had a good day.
And he's going to lead another scoring drive if a snap doesn't go over his head in the third quarter. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm just saying don't ordain this guy just yet. So let's see what happens. If he does light it up and we score 40+,
he's going to start.
Awesome. I want to have that conversation for 2 weeks instead of a conversation of why can't we do simple things and why do we always suck in the second half. So it would be an upgrade in talking points into the bye week.
Yeah, huge upgrade. And it allows us also, I might add, to avoid some of the conversations surrounding poor clock management, which once again reared its ugly head at the end of the first half in this game. And we're just poor. I mean, we're just damn poor at it, and it's really, really annoying because we don't utilize timeouts properly.
Yeah.
And we don't utilize the advantage in terms of understanding the clock at the end of halves. We just don't, and it's really, 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 really maddening.
Yeah, and that's where Hornibrook made an unfortunate situation or decision, not a situation, but it's like the shovel pass to Cam on third down when he could just run and slide, pick up the first down. I mean, only a few things here or there do you say, I wish he had done that better. The one thing he, at least early on, and we'll see how he gets comfortable into the flow week to week, he does a better job of either giving Cam the ball or pulling it when Cam is going to get killed versus Blackman, who doesn't make that decision as well. Sometimes Cam gets hit in the mouth, you're like, ooh.
That was unnecessary.
Or Cam's got 15 yards up the gut, and you're like, James,
give him the ball. Yeah.
I know that you want to get DJ involved, or I know you want to get it out to the bubble every once in a while, but not there. Not there. The indicators were good for Cam.
The important thing to note here as we're trying to judge performance moving forward, and we all are just kind of guessing here because we've only seen such a limited sample size within this offense of Alex Hornibrook. There are some things, there are known commodities, there are unassailable things you can say about Alex Hornibrook, and some are good and some are bad relative to football. And the bad would be he does not have a big arm. Now, he understands that, and I think he plays accordingly. But the Sooner defenses have a better understanding of that as well. And what I mean by that is actually prepare a game plan for it. The tighter those windows will become. He was throwing to a lot of wide open windows. Partly that's Kendall Briles' offense and spacing, which is great. It's something that really is a taxing element of this offense on a defense. But part of it's also because Louisville hadn't game planned for Alex Hornibrook, and I don't know if they had instant recall of the Alex Hornibrook that played at Wisconsin or not in game, because if they did, they would have said, oh, ball's on the left hash. We really don't have to guard the far hash over here all that much. Or I'm not really worried about it going over my head back here. So those will be adjustments that defense makes. For example, if he lights it up this weekend against NC State, Clemson is A, equipped to do something about it, and B, they're not going to give up those soft cushions. They're going to play up, and they're going to say, you can't beat me over the top.
Right, which is where you come back to your first point, which is Cam's got to have success on the ground, because if he does, then the tempo gets going, and they could have every intent to make the good decision and to keep everything in front of them because they know you can't beat him deep. But if you have to make a decision in a point of conflict and it's a tenth of a second, well, somebody's open at 20 yards, 25 yards depth. And we did see, small victories, right? The 2nd and 20 throw, that's a deep throw off his back foot, essentially, or he's not in perfect position to rise and fire.
It's a great catch, too, by DJ.
It's a great catch, but it shows you that he does have a little bit of zip on the ball, and he knows how to use trajectory as his friend. He's not just going to try and fire it as hard as he can, and it ends up hitting the chest of a linebacker who's in the way.
We know this Dave Doran club. He's 43-34 in his time at NC State, so largely middling. He had really high expectations going into 2018. They were underwhelming primarily because they were bad at defense, and they haven't gotten much better at defense this year. And when I look at some of those S&P numbers and I look at what they were projected, I can't help but come away thinking they're going to be average to poor, outside the top 50 on defense throughout the course of this year. Where it gets really interesting is they got gutted in a way I have rarely seen a team offensively, one side of the ball that is, get gutted. It's not just obviously that you lose your offensive coordinator. He's now the head coach at Appalachian State, so there's that. Let's start with that. But you lost a 4,000-yard passer in Ryan Finley, who was a pretty good player. You lost a 1,000-yard rusher in Reggie Gillespie. He was a pretty good player. You lost a 1,000-yard receiver, not one but twice. You lost Kelvin Harmon and Jacoby Myers. That's 2,000-yard receivers there. You lost an all-conference tackle in Tyler Jones, an all-American guard in Tyrone Prescott. You lost a consensus all-American and first-round draft pick at center in Garnett Bradbury. They lost everything on this offense. I mean, almost everything.
Right, the interior. I know tackle is really important, but when you're looking at our D-line and the difference makers, Marvin, as great as he is like the constant, but if you get anything from Coop up the middle, it turns us into a really nasty force up front.
Yeah.
And you would think they would be salivating at this opportunity because you've got one interior player and a center that they're still trying to break in on the road against a front three that's got to be really, really feeling good about itself right now.
Yeah, they've it's interesting. This defense is getting better and better against the run. This is an NC State offense that got completely shut down in the second half against a poor defensive team in West Virginia. This adds up on the surface to be a really good opportunity for Florida State to win a game comfortably. I know. Shut your mouth, Jeff Cameron. Don't say it. We don't do it. It hasn't happened yet. Agreed. They got to prove it.
Hey, by the way, quick question. What are we against the spread in the first half? Have you looked at us?
You know what our combined score is in the first quarter?
I would assume we've scored 60 or 70 points.
It's 56-9.
Okay, yeah.
We beat your ass in the first quarter. I mean, like a drum.
I'm just saying, you had the research down for Alabama and first half lines. That it would occur to me that
we should ride the hot hand of Florida State's offense at half.
Or Vegas should react to that we're going to start fast, because that's what we do.
I wonder how many, you really are talking about opportunities here, investment opportunities, betting Florida State to cover the first half and then not cover the second.
Yeah, right.
I mean, all day long.
I think you probably You hit 6 out of 8, 7 out of 8.
I mean, you're in good shape. Yeah, if you want to go that route, you're absolutely right. By the way, lest we forget, one other talking point at the start of this is really our first effort at talking about NC State as we look ahead. Of course, Bailey Hockman transferred there. He got into the game last week. They didn't play well against Ball State. They needed a big special teams play to gain some separation, but they weren't real good. That game was a lot closer than you would have wanted to see if you're an NC State fan. But Matthew McKay is their starting quarterback, and he's 6'4", 210, is a pretty decent athlete, can move around a little bit, not a great passer of the football. So they're pretty average at quarterback. Bailey Hockman got in the game, only threw 2 passes. He was 1 of 2, and I believe one of those was an interception. Tragic.
Yeah, that is tragic.
I know, we're all devastated.
The McKay kid, he is apt every once in a while to airmail some receivers. So, the play that Fagan made at the end, maybe there's a couple more in the cards for us early on in this game.
Let's hope so. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed technology track, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fees. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
The Jeff Cameron Show podcast, available on demand at ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes today. The Jeff Cameron Show podcast is brought to you by Garnet and Gold of Tallahassee. When you buy FSU apparel, support local business. GarnetandGold.com.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
So, let's do this. A couple things here. Cool story, side story, that I'll get to in a second involving a home run ball that was fairly famous, and a follow-up story. I remember marking this down and talking about this a while back, and then now here we have a follow-up. But before we do all of that, a little Jeff Cameron Show logo for those on the YouTube and Periscope feed. On this Which Yeti that we give out. It's got the Jeff Cameron Show logo. It's got the Which logo. It is a Yeti Rambler.
That's
tumbler,
right.
Rambler.
Little 20-ounce rambling tumbler.
Yeah, so there you
Tumbler
go.
Rambler.
We got it here, and you can win it right now. It's yours free by being caller number 2. 523-3776, 523-3776. Thanks to our friends at Which. And thanks to our friends at the Jeff Cameron Show.
That's right. Yes.
And,
good friends there.
Yeah. And thanks to Yeti. There you go. Come on and get yours. Caller 2 right now. On to the story. The home run ball that marked the 2000th career RBI for Albert Pujols has finally landed in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Eli Hides, the Tigers fan who wound up with the ball at Comerica Park on May the 9th, at first decided, I'm going to keep it. And he got criticized for that, as you recall. He said, nope, I'm going to keep it. There's some money to be had here. I don't blame fans. I understand both sides of this. Then after a few days, he narrowed it down, giving the ball to either Pujols or the Hall of Fame. He couldn't figure which he was going to do there. He's kind of, maybe I'll give it. Yeah.
Interesting course of action here.
Yeah. Last month, Hides made his choice and hand-delivered the ball to the Hall of Fame. He told the Detroit News he received nothing in return despite offers from suitors all around the country, including one offer of $50,000 for the ball from a Los Angeles native. The ball is significant because Pujols became only the third player in Major League Baseball history to drive in 2,000 or more runs in a career, joining Hank Aaron, nice company, and A-Rod. Less than nice company. But anyhow, there you go. Rather than take criticism on social media for keeping the ball or profiting from selling it, Hides instead donated it in memory of his late son, Cyrus Arlo Maloney, who was just 21 months old when he died in June of this past year. He was named after Cy Young. Quote, I'll want to show her and tell her the story, just the whole thing, Hides said of his infant daughter, Violet, the good things that happened, and the cautionary tale of social media. For his donation, the Hall of Fame gave a lifetime pass to Hides. In addition to honoring the memory of his late son, the display will also honor the people of Detroit for their donation. So the story here, if you go back further, was this guy took a beating on social media. And there's a longer story. If you guys want to investigate that story, you can. But it doesn't take much. A cursory glance of the word cautionary tale of social media should do the trick. I think we kind of know, right? Sad story there. But.
Yeah, well, you know, it's got a beautiful touch at the end that it's in the name of his late son. Mm-hmm. I just would have asked Pujols, do you want the ball? Like, if it was just me, if I've chosen to not take the money, I don't know that I'd decide between the Baseball Hall of Fame and Albert Pujols. I'd probably just say, Albert, what do you want to do? Because I'm not going to take money here. I might look at the value of the baseball first, though.
Without question.
I think that's
without question.
I don't think that's in poor taste. I mean, I hit the lottery here.
I'm going to ask how much I can get for that ball. Not from Pujols. I'm not strong-arming Pujols, but as somebody who paid for my ticket, went to the game, got lucky, caught this baseball. A lot of times, organizations, it's a tough call. I mean, listen, when you're talking about the Barry Bonds home run ball, when you're talking about these record breakers.
Met fan caught it.
When you're talking about things like that, where you could change your life financially forevermore and make, $1 million. Sorry, pal, you're not getting the ball. I'm selling this ball for $1 million. Tough luck, unless you want to give me $1 million. I mean, that's what's happening here.
You call his agency and say, listen, I'll allow you to match if you wish. You have a 24-hour period once I decide what the best offer is.
Yeah, if I get some businessman in New York calls me and tells me, hey, look, I'm an investor. I believe that ball's going to be worth a lot 10 years from now. I'll give you $1.7 million right now. All right, fine. I'm calling Bonds or whoever hit it and say, you got 1.7, it's yours. But otherwise, it's going to that guy there.
Here's a much smaller case, but yes, I would 100% do this. Now, this is are you in it to win it kind of thing. I saw an athletic writer today respond to, there was a person who put $50 down on Joe Burrow to win the Heisman Trophy, and that would yield him $10,000 if Joe Burrow wins the Heisman Trophy because of the preseason odds at 200-1. The casino or whatever service he's using is willing to buy him out right now for $1,800. Would you do it if that number came up at $1,800? Bet you just cash out right now. They're insuring, they're hedging against the
it's a hedge, and you do that a lot of times. I'm always going to try to lock in a profit. I'm going to lock in a guaranteed profit. Are you going to give me $1,800? I'll do that.
He plays Utah State this weekend. Would you wait one more week?
Well, he's going to score a ton of points, and he's going to put up a lot of numbers again. But I'm going to bank on the fact that later in the year, when they have to play Alabama and others, and that may very well be a high-scoring game, his numbers are going to be significantly affected enough to allow a Jalen Hurts or somebody else to take the upper hand in that race, a Tua, whoever. And I'm going to lock in my profit right now at $1,800. I mean, give me my $1,800. I was smart enough to get on it early. I'm in. I got my money. We're moving on.
It's interesting. It's all electronic, too, because he sent a screenshot to the guy, and it shows that you could cash out right now. So things are becoming much more streamlined these days.
There's something called Ticketswap.com, and if you look at Ticketswap.com, these people out here in Vegas that go out there and on a whim.
So it might not be the casino itself. It could be, okay.
There's an agency that does this.
And they run the numbers on it.
They run the numbers on it. So, and I'll give you one here for an example. Somebody at the start of last year took the St. Louis Blues to win the Stanley Cup at unimaginable odds, okay, right? As it got closer and closer to happening, as this impossible dream is, on the verge of happening, there were folks offering for that ticket a lot of money, like $100,000 or something like that, because he was staked to win like $200,000 to $300,000.
Sure.
And the debate was when do you lock in a profit? The idea with these things is you lock in a profit. I mean,
to hell with my fanhood at that point. I was like, well, you got to stick it out. No,
I don't. No, I don't. I could make six figures here. But the thing is, they were winning, and then didn't it come to Game 7? Did that go to Game 7?
It was 6 or 7. Yeah. I quit after the first round this year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's very difficult.
One thing I will tell you is that I remember the debate was that people were saying, okay, look, you've locked in a profit right now. If you want to sell after the round number 1, you could make a lot of money compared to what you put on it. But now, let's say you get up 2-0 in the next series. Well, let's hold off. Let's wait and see. When do you do it? It's a fun little exercise there. And I don't necessarily know the answer there, but as far as the Heisman goes, I know the answer.
I had St. Louis coming out of the West in my bracket, so I probably would have let them go if it was personally my ticket.
Yeah, but you did that after watching them play for much of the year, and they started.
Sure, I didn't have a preseason.
Yeah, no, they started the year terribly too. By the way,
they did.
Yeah,
they did. Indeed.
They were horrible. Yeah. So there was no reason to think.
They went on a crazy run. I think it was February. They visited down into Tampa, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they became a different team.
Who the hell is this team? This is because the goaltending was incredible, and they did just enough otherwise. And they made a couple of smart moves. I'm trying to
couple
find
acquisitions that changed the lineup there.
So in the let's see, in the Western Finals they faced San Jose. At that point, I would have sold before they played San Jose. But Winnipeg, sure, what the hell? Dallas, definitely. Even though that series went 7, what the hell? San Jose, no way. So you probably would have gotten 50, 70 grand, something like that.
Yeah,
done.
UCF, let's switch to football real quick, has added a non-conference home-and-home series this afternoon, this time with Boise State. Good pickup there. And BYU for their future schedules. UCF obviously doing their best now to enhance schedule strength. They've been ripped for it in the past, knowing that, look, you finished undefeated in 2017. You finished undefeated in 2018, and you were not even in the college playoff discussion. And so, obviously, they're attempting now to add top 25 type teams to their schedule. Smart move there. Their athletic director, Danny White, saying today we're committed to continuing to schedule attractive, meaningful football games, both for our fans and student athletes. BYU, Boise State, both powerful programs. Should note something here. And it's fun to make fun of UCF because they got awfully snooty there for a while and declared themselves national champs and all that stuff, and I roll. But also it's worth noting the significant advancements that program has made and investments when we're always looking for the fourth team in the state. Who's going to emerge? We now know it's them, right? It's not USF. It's not FIU, FAU. It's them. What I hate in our current conundrum is knowing that we want no part of that program right now. Is just knowing that we would get the brakes beat off us if we played UCF. Yes, I know, phrasing.
Right now.
But it would happen.
No, the phrasing actually works there. Yeah. It wasn't a Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It would be a problem right now. One thing I've also learned in the last couple of years, if UCF and Pitt play, don't play the game.
Just leave it alone.
Don't play. Leave it alone. That was somebody's game of the year last year. It didn't work out for him. Not mine.
Leave it alone, right?
Yeah. And then this year, no, just that's a good rivalry. They should lock in Pitt once a year.
In addition to Boise State, BYU, UCF has added Louisville, and they've added North Carolina and Georgia Tech to future schedules. Good idea.
I think North Carolina. I saw the graphic earlier today. I think that's 2 for 1 in UCF's favor.
Wow.
If their font color was correct, because they have the home and away little thing there, it looks like UCF gets 2 home dates for that.
How about that?
Out of 3.
Nicely done.
Not bad.
That'll work. And then one final note involving college sports. We try to cram it all here in that first hour, getting everything on the big picture. Oh, listen, I'm not going to sit here and talk Monday Night Football. Sweet Jesus.
Whew.
Whew.
I knew that was going to be a terrible
You know what's going to
one.
be interesting is what happens when that Washington team takes on, I think it's Miami in a couple weeks. Back to the issue at hand. We mentioned it on Friday when we were at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, where we'll be again this Friday. It is a home game after all.
Hey, man, we're doing a lot of shows at the CP in the first month of the year.
Looking forward to it. Ice cold Guinness at the end of a long week. It's always fun.
It was delicious again.
It was. But this was the story we were alluding to, and this is a problematic one for Bill Self and that wig. The NCAA's enforcement staff has charged the University of Kansas with lack of institutional control. Oh, okay, well, that's the big one. That's the one that gets you shut down and you lose scholarships and you become irrelevant. Those are obviously amongst the most serious charges levied against Bill Self and his program. There was a notice of allegations submitted by the NCAA. They got that yesterday. The Jayhawks are charged with 5 Level 1 violations, the most serious under NCAA rules, as well as 2 Level 2 violations related to the school's football program. I would just say this, if you're cheating in football to that extent, you've got to be better. You cannot do that. Guys, go in. It's like all those years ago when San Diego State would get busted cheating on the regular in football and go 3-9. What are we doing here, guys? If you're going to cheat, you got to cheat.
We're just paying people for the sake of paying them.
Yeah, I mean, just giving away money out here, steady getting our head kicked in. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Under the NCAA rules, Kansas officials have now 90 days to respond to those charges. In a release, the school noted it's already clear from an initial review that the university will fiercely dispute in detail most of what's been presented here. So they're going to fight it.
Oh, well, I would believe that's in their interest. Yes.
Yeah. What does it do to Bill Self's legacy? I'm not usually a legacy guy when it comes to these sports figures, but between that wig and these allegations, Tom, Shaky ground for Bill Self.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of where. In fact, I know it's precisely because of where they're located in the country. Like, I get they're always really good, and I chalk them through many of my brackets over the years. But Kansas is just irrelevant to me.
The state,
the basketball program. Like, I know it's really good.
Well,
I know it's won a
irrelevant.
national title in 2008. I know it's had a share of 14 straight division champion. I get it. But it's like I don't give a damn what happens in the Big 12. Kansas doesn't matter to me.
But they do matter to the history of college basketball.
Bill Self's legacy doesn't matter to me, I guess is my point. Whatever.
That's fair. It certainly would to the fine Kansas folks who pack the field house.
That's
every
right.
time, and that program is an annual top 4 power. So you're talking about one of the blue bloods of college basketball being affected here, which is good. I root for that. I mean, shut it down.
Shake it up.
Yeah, shut it down. Get after North Carolina while you're at it. Throw Duke in the mix. Let's do it. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5. Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win an ultimate fan cave experience from Bud Light, an over $1,500 prize giveaway. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit tryeaglesales.com. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales.
This morning you're up early because you're at the DMV. So many people, it takes so much time. Do you have the right form? Are you in the right line? Your number E42, right after C23. This is confusing when your morning is hell. Just go to Taco Bell.
When you've had a morning, let us make you breakfast. Like Taco Bell's Breakfast Crunch Wrap. Everything you love about breakfast, wrapped up and grilled to go. At participating locations during breakfast hours.
Hardee's new Monster Roast Beef Sandwich is stacked with slow-cooked roast beef, slices of crispy applewood smoked bacon, all covered in layers of melted cheese. This tasty triple threat is kind of like an epic no-hands backflip on a wild Mustang while spearing a great white shark. How you got a wild horse out in the middle of the ocean isn't important. What's important is that the new Monster Roast Beef Combo with fries and a Dr. Pepper is only available at Hardee's.
Available for limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. When generic insurance takes hold, one handsome man and one flightless bird are teaming up to save the world. Money. Their message? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Their mission? Savings. Their relationship? Best friends. Say hello to Liberty Mutual's new spokes team. Doug.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
You can't protect against everything life has in store, but you can sure try. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, we help you protect your investment with regular maintenance options that can keep your system safe. Receive same-day service when you sign up for the Total Comfort Service Program at baranoac.com. Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Every day, Sellers makes life a little better for homeowners, helping them find the best design ideas for their homes with the best quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Even mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions are at their fingertips in their remarkable showroom. Maybe it's time for you to get the Sellers Advantage for your home or office. Find them on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com. For style, quality, and design, get the Sellers Advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
Hendrick. Don't miss the kickoff to savings at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC. 2019 GMC Sierra 1500s up to $13,000 off. We are professional grade. DaleJrGMC.com. Plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and dealer admin chart. See dealer for details.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. The 0-3 Redskins are sticking with Case Keenum at quarterback. That's what Coach Jay Gruden said after the Monday night loss to Chicago, a game where Keenum turned the ball over 5 times. Gruden also said last night he can't be changing people every 5 minutes, and they've got to give Keenum a chance to play with the new guys. There were chants of "Let's go Haskins" on Monday night in reference to first-round pick Dwayne Haskins, but right now the Redskins aren't ready to hand the reins over to the 15th overall pick in this year's draft, notes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
In terms of Haskins, the organization is at a point right now where they don't think he's ready to play. Their offensive line is a mess. Trent Williams is still sitting home, waiting to be traded. They're just not at a point where they want to put him in.
Dan Graziano on Golick and Wingo. ESPN's Courtney Cronin and Adam Schefter reporting the Vikings are re-signing receiver Laquan Treadwell. He was among the cuts Minnesota made in late August upon finalizing the 53-man roster. Re-signing Treadwell reflects concerns the team has over the receiving depth. Chad Beebe's expected to miss several weeks with an injured ankle. Josh Doctson was put on injured reserve early in the season. Indians third baseman Jose Ramirez expected to return from a hand injury tonight against the White Sox. 8 Eastern ESPN TV. Cleveland trails Tampa Bay by a half game for the second AL wild card. Following a notice from the NCAA charging the Kansas men's basketball program and Coach Bill Self with lack of institutional control, Self issued a statement that he will strenuously defend himself and the program. Of utmost concern to the NCAA is Self and Kansas' relationship with sponsor Adidas. Adidas was at the center of a federal investigation into bribes and other corruption in college basketball.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Short segment here, so let's do a feature. Let's say good work from our friends at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Who's hot, who's cold? Here we go.
It's time for Who's Hot?
It's so damn hot.
Who's Cold?
Looks like she's going to turn cold tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Got a front coming in. Yeah, you got that right.
90 freaking 7 out here today. Ridiculous. I thought we had turned the corner. Got to make sure that air is working. Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are the guys to do it. Give them a call today, 850-580-4029. You're going to be happy if you're on that service plan, man, because things can go south on you in a hurry. You got to have that air going. I don't know what I'd do.
I know. It's a comic book movie reference, but still, you've seen The Dark Knight. You like The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I do.
And so in this case, you'd be Batman and the weather would be the Joker because you're like, I got you. You know, you're down for the count.
It's over.
And he goes, not until the real guy comes out. And there's this look of just distraught.
Like, are you kidding
despair.
me again?
And that is the 96 this week. You go, oh, God.
I know.
You're right. You've beaten me.
I just have to take a deep breath. All right, hot real quick. Obviously, you can start every hot list with Patrick Mahomes. He's the best player in the world playing the game of football right now. He is unreal playing a position that he plays a game that I've never seen played. It's just the dumbest thing ever, and it's every week. So there you go. He's in a separate category. We're moving him out of here. Now let's throw in Jacoby Brissett, who dropped a 28 of 37 for 310, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a win over Atlanta. Good job, Jacoby. Ooh. Deshaun Watson played very well on the road in a win over the Chargers. I'm happy to see that. 25 of 34, 351 yards passing, 3 TDs. Good on you. And sadly, rookie quarterback Daniel Jones, 23 of 36, 336 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He wins 32-31 over the Bucs because Bruce Arians choked. Cold? Well, yeah. Cam Newton, not real good anymore and constantly hurt.
Yeah, this morning's report was Liz Frank. Remember that injury?
Oh, the Liz Frank will hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Several weeks.
That's not good. It may be good for them because, in truth, Kyle Allen looked good. Marcus Mariota kind of sucks across the board. was terribly inaccurate in his last start yet again. He was also sacked 9 times because he holds the ball forever. And it looks like it's going to be a long year for him. Running backs that are performing well in the hot category real quick. Mark Ingram is having a good start to the year. 16 carries, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. And Frank Gore, you old SOB, you. 36 years old out there getting it, averaging 5.4 yards per carry.
He will die on the field. That is his wish, I do believe.
You know who's not very good these days? That'd be Leonard Fournette. If you can trade him, you should. Trade him, Jacksonville. You're going to need to do that now. And then from there, if we'd like, I would note hot receivers Mike Evans, 8 receptions, 190 yards, 23.8 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns, and they lost. Tyler Lockett also had a good day. So did Keenan Allen. Cold receivers, Stephon Diggs and Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Not good.
Diggs. Bleeping killing me, man.
Diggs.
Bleeping killing me.
Diggs is hurting you, huh?
He's not in the rotation.
No. Well,
he's always on the field, but he's not in the rotation.
He's got 3 receptions for 15 yards.
Yes, he does.
He sucks right now, huh?
Also, Tariq Cohen is no longer a part of the Chicago Bears plans.
Not at all.
2 catches, 24 yards.
You're just like, what happened
3
here?
runs for a loss of 2.
Oh, that's fun. Go see our friends at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Who's hot? Who's cold? Give them a call today, 580-4029. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
You can also take advantage of the city's Energy Star appliance rebates. This can help you receive up to $300 on appliances such as refrigerators, washing machines, and more. And don't forget to ask about budget billing. This free program gives you more predictable bills by averaging the amount you pay each month to help avoid spikes caused by seasonal changes. With so many savings, you're sure to be a winner. Visit talgov.com or call 850-891-4968. That's talgov.com or 850-891-4968 to learn more.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the Social Agreement. You and a buddy can split 1 Aurora wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Chuck Oliver here, and there's no better place to watch football this season than Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, located at 926 North Monroe Street. On the corner of 3rd Monroe, Cigars of Tally is the perfect place to kick back and enjoy your favorite cigars and ice-cold beer. The Diamond Crown Lounge offers countless options, including J.C. Newman, Arturo Fuente, Padron, Drew Estate, Ashton, and many more. Watch your teams on sparkling 4K TVs and seating areas made for comfort and luxury relaxation. Check out the private conference rooms and the spacious patio for your next watch party and fantasy draft. Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, 926 North Monroe Street. Get your ash in here.
One of my favorite things about being a member at Orange Theory Fitness is the sense of community. Initially, after taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Short and sweet this hour, Jeff Cameron Show on into Seminole Headlines, which comes up in mere moments. Me and the boys from warchant.com discussing all things Noles and state of affairs after a win, going into a night game here against NC State this weekend, and that will run from 4 to 6. And then after that, Tom, what are we rolling with on a lawn maintenance Tuesday?
I believe the National League East champions are going to be a part of tonight's broadcasting, and that's not the New York Mets. It would be the Atlanta Braves. They'll be playing a best-of-5 starting next week.
Yeah, Mets lost to the Marlins last night.
That's correct.
8-4.
That's correct.
That'll put a ribbon on it, right? Were they already done? Is that mathematical?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's mathematical, but it's, common sense says. They were already done, though. Milwaukee's. It's not like they had the Cardinals for 4 out of 7 this week.
Nope, not like that at all. The Cubs now face the Pirates. Not that will matter. 2 teams not going to the postseason. Just like to point that out. Should note that important games are happening tonight, though. The Rays got a big win last night. Now they got to beat the Yankees. We'll see. And then Cleveland, of course, has a much easier time of it. They're just trailing the Rays ever so slightly, half game after they didn't play last night. Rays won last night. Now the White Sox host Cleveland, so an easier time of it for Cleveland, but there's still a lot going on down the stretch here.
And it's Cleveland and Washington this weekend. Interleague series that have wild card, at least home field implications, if not outright you stay or you go kind of implications. And it's one thing worth remembering, too, heading into the final week of Major League Baseball, there are still tiebreaker games. There is no automatic set tiebreaker from head-to-head or National League record or division record.
Still play tiebreaker.
There are game 163s, and those are definitely possible in the American League.
Those are also really cool. All right, let's get to the probables, shall we? Here we go.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Brewers Reds. Adrian Hauser goes for the Brewers. Sonny Gray, who has been really a comeback player of the year, goes for the Reds tonight. Twins, Tigers, Jake Odorizzi, Spencer Turnbull, your matchup there. Cubs, Buccos, as I mentioned, Kyle Hendricks and Mitch Keller. Phillies, Nationals. That's a second game tonight, right? They played this afternoon,
yes,
I do
that's
believe.
Correct.
Aaron Nola goes tonight for the Phillies, and Max Scherzer, of the dominant Scherzer family, goes for the Nats. Orioles, Blue Jays. Dylan Bundy going to go for the Orioles. Anthony Kay goes for the Blue Jays. That game last night went 15 innings, and everybody there thought, are you kidding me? 15 innings with these saps? Orioles led by 2. The Blue Jays come back to tie it up. Orioles take the lead again, give it up again, goes 15.
Game of chicken between the players on the field and the fans in the stands. Who wants to leave first?
Yankees are to be determined tonight in their game against the Rays. The Rays are going to throw Yanni Chirinos, 9-5, making his first start since August the 4th. Returned from the injured list on Saturday, allowed 1 run, struck out 2 in 1 inning of work against the Red Sox. Marlins, Mets, probably one last time, ultimate time that I say Sandy Alcantara's name. All right. Noah Syndergaard goes for the Mets.
Awesome.
He has allowed 4 earned runs in each of his past 3 starts, and he hasn't pitched past the 6th inning in any of them.
Awesome.
What the world's going on there?
He's a fake ace.
Red Sox, Rangers, Eduardo Rodriguez. Edison Volquez goes for the Rangers. We got that important Cleveland and Chicago game. White Sox hosting Hector Santiago on the hill for the White Sox. Santiago. Mike Clevenger going for the Indians. Braves, Royals, Julio Teheran, Danny Duffy, Cards, D-backs, Jack Flaherty. Only Flaherty. He's been dominant. Mike Leake goes for the D-backs. Rockies, Giants, Jeff Hoffman, Madison Bumgarner. A's, Angels, Homer Bailey, Dylan Peters. Stros, Mariners, Garrett Cole is 18-5 with 302 strikeouts. 11 away in the strikeout department. from 313, which is the franchise record set by my man J.R. Richard in 1978. I remember it. I'm old.
Oh, you're being legitimate. Okay.
Yes, legitimately
right.
remember.
You
J.R.
remember
Richard.
that? Okay.
J.R. Richard had a stroke on the mound, nearly died. Tragic story. He was a mountain of a man. Ended up collapsing on the hill, nearly died. They ended up living underneath a highway and was found homeless many years later.
Whoa.
True story. Old people know things.
Well, speaking of mountainous people, last night flipping around, and I guess ESPN News was still on the dial because they have radio on and they have the sports betting stuff during the day. The Matt Millen E60 story was on, and I hadn't seen that in quite some time.
There are strings
but
there, huh?
I know how it ends, and it's still riveting. I mean, it's crazy good.
You mentioned that ESPN has their betting stuff on the side.
They do.
Certain emailer is livid with me after talking about betting. He thinks I'm a scourge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's very upset with me.
Well,
but meanwhile, ESPN's got
get ready for the whole country to be at the pillar, sir, because here comes the scourging.
Astros, Mariners. Probably my fault other people drink, too. Astros, Mariners, Garrett Cole, Justin Dunn. Dodgers, Padres, Rich Hill. Reynald Bolanos going for the Padres. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Should note that I went back and took a little look at NC State and then also looked inside the numbers, did some S&P study on them, and this team's not good. We should beat NC State Saturday night.
That is correct, and they have a defeatist mentality within their fan base heading on the road to Tallahassee. So, of course, what will happen is a close game in the second half, and people play over their head because that's what happens. That's what we do.
What'll happen is we'll get up 21-7, and it'll be 35 all in the fourth.
That's correct. It's coming.
Happen. I actually took us. You see that early line? This is for my emailer who hates gambling. Buddy, the line is 5.
That's it?
Yeah, we're favored by 5. I think he went down to 4.5 early on. I think I'm giving.
So I was doing, what week was that? Was that ULM? I guess it was.
I don't know.
Early in the day, it was West Virginia, NC State. And
tied at halftime, and then the blowout in the second half.
Right. Yeah. But just the way they managed the game was so awful. But I was doing
Virginia
chores.
Week, by the way.
It was Virginia Week. Okay, so it was before I went to Hangar 38. So that's why. I was doing some chores around the house, and I kept coming back to the game. And then I had it on the Big Mac, which I can see from doing the stuff in the kitchen. I mean, I was like, good God. Because I had NC State, given that West Virginia got waxed by Mizzou.
Yeah, 38-7.
Right. I was wrong. I mean, they are a bit of a mess.
NC State's defense stinks. You can do some things on them. You can run the ball on them. And you know who runs the ball well? Cam Akers. Cam Akers runs the ball well. I think I feel good. Now, I'm going to have to slow my roll. It's just Tuesday. And no matter how good I feel, it's all relative because we're not great. But I feel pretty good about a chance at a 2-game win streak heading into the bye week.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to light up a victory cigar just yet. And
From
if
Jerry's.
You wanted to, you could go 2810 Cherry Road, 2910 Cary Forest
that's
Parkway.
well done.
To Jerry's Cigar Shop. Online at jerrycigarshop.com. But I hear you there. And honestly, like Cam's rushing total, if you look at the yards per carry, I think it was 3.9.
It wasn't good because he had
3.8.
29 carries, yeah.
I'm telling you, there's another 50, 60 yards out there on maybe 3 or 4 carries if they just hand him the ball.
Yeah,
it wasn't that he didn't see it; he didn't get the ball.
He's getting worn down right now because his usage rate is so high. He's out there for the vast majority of their plays these days. When you go at the game log, a lot of times he's subbed out like 5 times total in a game. So I mean, Kalon Laybourne's not exactly stacking up the carries. So one of the things we realize here is that he's your star, and you got to ride your star. This is the last year you're going to have him. I will say I worry moving forward, but they do have a bye week after this one, so you can let it ride.
You can let it ride, and honestly, listen, man, if it gets into the middle of the second quarter and it's out of reach, let LeBourne up at Clemson do some work, and, maybe they split the reps 50-50.
Yeah. Listen, I've said aloud that it's weird to look at a game in which you're preparing for other games, and that game is Clemson. But I feel like looking at the Clemson game as if you're playing Alabama State and resting some guys.
It's also probably worth asking at this point, is anybody going to teach any of the other backs to protect?
I know, it's weird.
I mean, that's got to be part of the equation.
That's the biggest part of the equation. And Cam does it exceptionally well.
Yeah, like a little wrecking ball.
He's mean, man. I would hate to have to run into him. He anchors in, and you're going to get popped.
The ULM kid.
Oh, Goodness gracious. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Coming up next, Seminole Headlines. Stay tuned.
Rats.